Welcome back. It's still Morning Rush on Metro Television. We are live on DSTV channel 277, live on Facebook and YouTube with Metro TV Ghana. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Metro TV_GH. So we have THELMA HAYFORD, always a gender advisor. And this morning we are here to talk about the 16 days activism against SGBV. And this one was like, hey, and that's why also, because we've been talking about it. We have discussions. They are creating more awareness against this, but then it's still going on. And so this morning, THELMA is here to tell us, I mean, we'll go through how things have been. The last time she was here, we've had interesting conversations in the makeup room. We hope to bring some here. But then, THELMA, how are you?
I'm doing very well, Nanaya. How are you?
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you again after a year, you guys.
The outfit is dope, though.
Yes.
Cut out GH.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what is in the outfit, right?
All a din crass.
Oh,
Yes.
no, you shouldn't
Yes.
have said
Oh, but I don't know the crash most.
Sure. Which one is your favorite?
We all know Jinyame.
That's the only one. You know. Mine is the
Sankofa.
versatility.
Oh, okay.
Sankofa
In chain.
Oh, okay.
I'm not seeing
Are you?
it.
You're not seeing it
I'm
yet.
seeing it here.
Oh.
Okay.
Sankofa
Let's talk about SGBV. I'll look for it. Yeah.
Yes.
But
yes.
Thelma, the last time you were here, we were creating awareness against this whole conversation. So far, so good. The last time you were here till now, how is everything?
I'll say the message has trickled down to the communities. We've had more men coming on board, more collectives coming on board. There's a sensitization and growing awareness of the impacts of sexual and gender-based violence on national development. Traditional leaders, they've come on board so strongly, and it's so refreshing to see that the work that our 9 partners all across the country have been doing is having an impact. So there's a good side to, the growth after last year has been very, very, obvious. And there's still more to be done this one. I'm so sorry to say that.
Yeah. And when you say there's still more to be done, which specific places haven't you been to that the organization is looking forward to going to coming next year?
So unfortunately, the EU Enough project, it was a 5-year project co-funded by OXFAM in Ghana, where I work, and then the European Union, and it ends this month.
Oh,
yes.
December.
This month?
Yes, this month,
okay.
yes. However, from what we've seen so far, the gains of the project are not going to end with it.
Okay.
The behavioral change that we sought to, inspire has, had an impact, and people are taking ownership of the interventions we took to their communities on their own. We had volunteers. We were training them on how to support communities to, have access to legal services. That is still ongoing, even though the project is ending, and it's a good thing to see. The girls' clubs, some of my partners have started handing over the girls' clubs we created to discuss, like a safe space to discuss sexual and gender-based violence. We've handed over some of these clubs to GES, because they also have girls' club facilitators. So we've given it over to GES, and we know the momentum will continue. Other donor agencies have come on board to support other partners to implement sexual and gender-based violence projects elsewhere. So we know the momentum won't stop. And the Ministry of Gender is doing their part too. So even though the project is ending, we are very sure that the advocacy will continue.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get to the statistics. As I've seen in there, that 2 out of 5 women still suffer violence from their partners. Is it a better start, or?
It's actually 1 in 3 women
1 in
globally.
3.
Yes.
Okay, globally.
So as we are sitting here, I am the one, and then you are the other 2. So it's closer to us than we think, and it's more scary because these are the reported figures. There are incidents that are not reported, so these are even projections and approximate figures. So it's much more scary, and it's unfortunate that along the way, the social norms, the traditional norms that we have all ascribed to have affirmed, sexual and gender-based violence to a large extent. Child marriage, some of the engagements, you see that it's rooted in religion. And it's difficult to change behavior when it is about culture, it's about religion, it's about the way of life of people. So the advocacy hasn't made that much impact as I would want to see. But little drops of water. It's
changes.
turning into a mighty ocean.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are two very important things that I want to touch on, and I'll also share an experience. I think I told Anaya sometime back. Why is it that there are not enough people coming out to speak? I mean, those who are the victims, because you realize that day in, day out, there will be stories that will come out, and it will be after 10 years, after 15 years. When you speak to them at that point, why can they not come out? I mean, of course, they say, oh, he would threaten me and all of those. But, I mean, at that point, it's a
do or die affair.
It's a do or die affair. So why don't you come out? Or is it that they don't find the right people to speak to, or what?
So there are many circumstances surrounding the people's inability to report in real time when the violence happens to them. There are incidents of incest. You go reporting, and it has societal implications.
Yeah.
It brings shame, cultural implications of such an act. So people would rather avoid it. In instances where the power imbalance is so strong that maybe it's a lecturer to a student, and she's very sure that she will not get the support that she needs, she would keep it quiet.
That's true.
Maybe leave school and then come out and say it. If it's a celebrity or a politician and in power or reigning, and it's maybe their house help or someone, they would rather hold on till they are able to find their voice and agency before they come out. So I try to remind people to always not blame the survivor for not coming out early. The mitigating circumstances around the occurrence of the violence may have compelled them to keep the incident on a low key till they find their voice or they are sure that support will be readily available to them. So that safe space, the sense of security, and then justice is expensive. Like I mentioned the last time, it's still expensive. So who bears the cost of that whole access to justice?
Process?
Yes. So I always advise the public, try not to blame the survivor for not being able to come out early.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to share a story. Now, let me. You remember the story I told you?
Yeah.
So this whole thing, I didn't really. Let me say.
You didn't think it was a big deal.
I didn't think that like it was really happening. That someone that you would even share intimacy with you at one point want to be violent on the person, right? So I was at the supermarket, I was getting something. This guy walks in and is asking that, oh, my sister chocolate, yeah, I need the pan macho. So I was just moving around, I just heard him saying, and the lady was like, oh yeah, and some guys were like, oh yeah, and I said, to the beer. Then the girl was like, hey, oh, we got not to can him. So then I came out and I looked at the car, and the lady had rolled up and still used something to cover her face like this in the car. And then the other man in the supermarket was like, oh, but you know they do that, and like, nice. But the woman who owns the supermarket was like, what kind of sanity? This was she too much. Oh yeah,
a fellow woman.
And I was so shocked. Like I was buying the thing, but I was just walking through again to listen to it. And I was so shocked that a woman would think that way. So if a woman thinks that way, how much more the man? It empowers the man.
How do you sensitize such a person?
It empowers the man that, you know what, you don't even do, because if she do way more than you hit them.
Yeah.
And then say, oh, somebody can cost me 2 million.
This is serious. Like the day this was telling me, I was so surprised.
Wow.
I was like,
shocked.
Wow.
This modern Ghana.
Yes.
Even a woman to say such a thing.
Yes.
And your other man was like, oh, boss, no, next time not they do this. But the woman was like, because girl no pro hard drinks, you are allowed to.
Exactly.
And the woman is so unassuming. If you look at you wouldn't think that she would ever say a thing like that.
You would be surprised. That's where the orientation around, love and, respect and dominance comes from.
Yeah.
It's all in the family setting. That's why, it starts from a very young age.
True.
As a child, when we go to school and then we are playing with our male friends and they push us, and then you go and report to a teacher, they'll say, oh, he likes you, that's why he's pushing you and he's hitting you.
I was coming
when you
there.
grow up, you will assume that your partner is hitting you and beating you because he loves you. That seed has been sown from the orientation, your socialization. So we have to be mindful, even in the upbringing, we have to be mindful of, how we raise our girls and boys. And that's why I like it when men come on board. You said it was a man that was opening up and saying this wasn't good. And so it's not the advocacy against sexual and gender-based violence. It's not women versus men. In this case, the woman is, affirming the aggressor. It's not women versus men pushing, gender stereotypes. It is a system. It's already a patriarchal system we are living in, and then we have adopted some norms, some normal way of life unknowingly. So that's the system that we are campaigning against. So I don't focus on men, pushing the message to men. No, we have to look at women on women, affirmation of violence as well. You work in an HR, in an organization, you are abused by the boss or you're attached by the boss, you go to the HR, she's like, don't mind him, that's how he is. It's okay. You are affirming, an unhealthy environment for your female colleagues. How then can they contribute to national development? That's the bottom line. National development, we need everybody on board. And you are having this serious canker affecting one demographic. And that's why it's very, very important that we push everything aside. We look at a very holistic approach to solving that issue of gender-based violence.
You've been saying that at national level, sometimes when you are able to get to that level, people even think that, oh, you went through, you endured certain things to get to that level, and you are not even appreciated for being there. Like, you are not appreciated for your hard work. Rather, they feel, oh, obemana or boa no man and they abuse like the words and everything. But what I want to ask is, you see, in recent time, we have this Hollywood superstar, rapper P. Diddy, where he had this lawsuit against him with regards to his ex-girlfriend, Cassie. So some reports mentioned that Cassie was able to have evidence. That is why when the issue was in court, less than 24 hours, they had to solve it out of court. They settled it out of court because the evidence against PDD were too much. Some abuses, some videos, some audio, some recordings. In Ghana here, like Desmond's situation, do you get women saying that, oh, I've been in it for a long time, but then I've gathered evidence, so now I'm ready to take the man to court? Do women come out prepared like that? Because in this situation, she had endured and now kept everything for 10 years. So in Ghana here, do we get women saying that, oh, these are the evidence, oh, you hit me on this day, I took a picture on this and this and this, I got evidence, now it's time for me to go to court? Do we have women coming out like that?
Yes. The advent of technology has also helped.
Very
in real time, someone will pick the phone. She may have someone she trusts on speed dial to hear that, okay, the man is beating me or this situation, and call for help. Taking pictures, taking photos, taking videos, gathering all the evidence and going to court. The unfortunate thing is that one of the most important documents that you need to make your case, the medical form, it's still not free. So when you get to the police station, you are getting the form to go to the hospital and test, check if indeed you've been raped, and then that document is added to whatever additional documentation you have to take to court. The medical doctor that has to sign has to be compensated because he has to move his vehicle to come to court each time the case is called to testify. So you have to pay.
It involves money.
It does.
And if you do not have that, then it becomes a problem. And this year has been very disheartening. I mean, if you have been following the news keenly, a lot of women have been killed this year by their husbands or boyfriends. I can count about 5-6 stories across Ghana, Central region, Eastern region, Ashanti region, a lot of them. And so if you're a woman out there and you do not and you should also the last is that you will lose your life. Eventually you will be killed.
Yes, but let's talk about the boys too. Let's talk about our sons, our brothers, our nephews that are also getting more and more exposed to sexual exploitation and harassment. There's been incidents of sodomy, and I had a conversation with boys, a number of boys and men, and I realized that some of them, their first sexual encounters were abuse. My older cousin, my nanny, my house help had something to do with me, and they didn't even realize it. So we shouldn't just focus on our sisters, our mothers, our girls. Let's also have very, very critical conversations with our boys. Let's not, our parents now, we are very wild on our girls, because we want to protect them.
Yeah.
The Ghana and the society of now, it's not like the 90s where it was easy to go out there and play and everything. But now we have to protect our boys too. We can't leave them behind. And also model very good family practices so that they can pick those up and then not grow up and think that smacking my partner is a way to calm her down or something. Yes,
okay, Thelma, the 16 days started in November, and I'm guessing it will end somewhere December 10th.
Yes.
Okay.
Started 25th of November. That is the day we commemorate globally the International Day of Elimination of Violence Against Women. And it's ending on the 10th of December, which is the World Human Rights Day.
Okay.
SGBV is a human rights issue, so we're ending it that day to culminate the day.
Okay. So we'll also keep sharing the information, the awareness, the education. We are so glad whenever you come to the studio to tell us, give us an update and tell us more about this situation. It's still happening.
Yeah.
Let's open our eyes.
Charlie be guy you do, you know big guy.
Yeah.
For real though.
That's it.
For real.
That's it. Thelma, thank you very much
Thank
for coming.
you to Desmond and Anaya. I hope not to come next year with startling statistics.
There'll be an
hopefully
improvement.
it gets better.
2024. Let's change.
Yes.
Let's change. Yeah.